Hi, everybody. I'm Katie Clancy, and this is the Katie Clancy Show, where I bring you the practical tactics and the emotional intelligence for you to achieve macro success in real estate. All right, today we're going to talk about a couple of things. One, we're going to talk about why am I so obsessed with happiness in real estate? Like, what is up? Why? And two, we're going to take a tiny little teaser deep dive on one of the 8 success principles that I tout, and that's going to be grace. All right, so let's get started. What is the big deal? Why happiness? What's this macro happiness thing? Why do I care so much about it? Well, let's start with the definition. Macro happiness is that happiness in your soul, in your guts, like that real happiness that you go to bed and you feel happy. Not just the happy ooh, a nice hot cup of coffee. Yes, that's happy in the moment, and then the coffee's gone and you're no longer happy. You're a little more awake though, which almost counts. So macro happiness is what you need before you're going to get macro wealth or sustain it. And you could probably make some short-term wins, but if you're not feeling it deep down, it's really a lot of work to try to keep your happiness level and your wealth level going. So getting that fixed first just opens so many more doors. And I believe that I'm obsessed with the idea of making real estate the happiest industry in the world because, my God, you guys, we have such an opportunity here, right? We are working with people at a hugely emotionally vulnerable time. Most of the time, the transaction that we're dealing with them ends in some sort of satisfaction, right? Some sort of closure at the very least. And in the best times, a wonderful achievement for people, a big benchmark in their life. And no matter what the circumstances, no matter why they're buying or selling, you will be associated with that transaction. And the feelings that they got from that transaction will be assigned to you. So what are those feelings going to be? And how can you make it so that every single client you deal with leaves that transaction with some level of true happiness and gratitude for you and the way you were in that transaction? Well, turns out I have some ideas about that. In fact, I am of the opinion that if you follow the 8 principles that I espouse, you will be that person for your clients. You will be the happiest person in real estate. And by the way, I invite you to fight me for the title, but if all of us keep working for that, we can take this industry and make a big impact on the world. So that's my big idea. All right, so what are the 8 principles and which one are we going to be talking about next? So the 8 principles are service, grace, talent, active happiness, growth, health, art, and time. Pretty diverse, aren't they? Kind of crazy, kind of makes you wonder, what does art and grace have to do with me making any money at all? Well, my goodness, people, it has a lot to do with your happiness, which will then bring you the money. So I'm going to talk a little bit extra about grace today because tomorrow on September 15th, so if you're watching this as a recording on the 16th, ooh, too bad, so sad you missed it. But I will give you, if you're watching it before that, I will give you a little preview of what we're going to do at Inman Connect Now on the 15th. So we're going to talk about grace. Grace, what is that? Grace has a lot to do with how you see other people, what kind of space you make for other people, how you treat other people, how you regard them. And the way you regard them and the space that you make for them will have an impact on how they behave and how your interaction goes, what kinds of connections you will make, and sort of how fruitful that relationship will be for both of you. In our talk that we're going to do at Inman, I'm going to take you through 3 very specific and repeatable exercises to get you closer and really leverage that grace piece that you all have. It's in some of you are using it already. And for a lot of you, it'll be a great validation. Like, oh yeah, that was sort of my gut to do that anyway. Yeah, well now you're going to know how to do it in a very specific, targeted way. Be like, this grace thing actually works. All right, so I'm not going to go too much further than that. I'm going to put a link in the comments here for signing up for Ibn Connect now, and there's a discount code in there. It's not very expensive anyway, which is great, and it's a one-day event. And I'll also put a link in there just if you want to just check out a little bit more about what's this happiness thing all about. I don't want your money. I just want you to be happy. I want you to come and check it out. I want you to practice the principles. I want you to take up the mantle with me and make this industry the happiest, because I really think we can. So if you want to check me out, see what I'm up to, and maybe join the crusade. You can see me at katieclancy.com.